When we look back at the golden age of rock, we usually picture wild singers and massive stadium crowds. But the real time machine lives somewhere else entirely. It lives in the exact fraction of a second a pick hits a distorted guitar string. We all easily recognize the heavy footsteps of Iron Man, the neon bite of Money for Nothing, and the raw energy of Whole Lotta Love. Yet, what if the most legendary sounds of our youth were actually born from sheer accidents, random street complaints, or even composed while a musician was completely asleep? Today we are uncovering the hidden magic behind the 10 greatest guitar riffs ever recorded. And if you enjoy exploring stories like these, don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss what's coming next. Do you have a favorite guitar riff that really impressed you? Share it with us in the comments below. Now let's get started. Number 10, Crazy Train by Ozzy Osbourne, released in 1980. At number 10, kicking things off with Pure Electricity. Crazy Train by Ozzy Osbourne. It was the kind of song that sent an electric shock straight through the radio dials. For a brief moment, stepping into the new decade, Ozzy Osbourne had just walked away from the shadows of his former band, stepping into a much sharper, more modern chapter of his life. The unforgettable, frantic opening riff was the brilliant creation of Randy Rhoads, a young guitarist who completely changed the landscape of rock. The fascinating detail is that this massive hook, which sounds so complex and overwhelming, was born simply as a minor progression that grabs you firmly from the very first note. And it transformed into a heavy, triumphant anthem that absolutely dominated the early 1980s, making the debut album Blizzard of Oz a massive commercial success everywhere. Randy tragically left this world in a plane crash at the age of only 25. And as the years fade away, we are left to wonder what other magic he could have created. Yet his guitar still echoes out on classic rock stations, freezing his brilliant spark in time forever. Number 9, Money for Nothing by Dire Straits, released in 1985. Few tracks captured the glowing synthetic mood of the music video generation quite like this one. Just one single synthesizer swell and that biting guitar note, and you are instantly transported back to the decade of neon lights, big hair, and worn-out cassette tapes. Mark Knopfler wanted a harsh, abrasive sound, heavily inspired by the gritty tone of the band ZZ Top. The strange and unexpected twist is that the lyrics for this massive track were born in a mundane New York appliance store. Knopfler simply stood there and overheard a delivery man complaining about lazy musicians on the television screens, and he wrote down the exact words of the working man. That street dialogue became a brilliant, ironic critique of instant fame. MTV entirely missed the irony, playing the video constantly, which pushed Dire Straits to their first and only #1 hit in the United States. The era of boxy televisions and music video channels has quietly disappeared. But that aggressive riff remains a perfect time capsule of 1985. Number 8, Smells Like Teen Spirit by Nirvana, released in 1991. For a brief moment in the early 90s, this song seemed to be playing everywhere, from college dorms to shopping malls. It felt like the entire world shifted on its axis the day this heavy, distorted 4-chord progression hit the airwaves, wiping away the polished pop of the previous decade. Kurt Cobain and his band captured a deeply anarchic sense of teenage rebellion, changing the cultural landscape forever. Surprisingly, Cobain openly admitted he was not trying to invent a new genre at all. He was just trying to write the ultimate pop song, heavily drawing inspiration from the dynamic style of the band Pixies. It pushed their second album, Nevermind, to legendary status, becoming one of the most recognizable pieces of recorded music in human history and topping charts globally. The flannel shirts faded, the teenage angst settled down, and Kurt left us entirely too soon. But nothing ever matched the raw, stomach-dropping power of hearing that distortion kick in for the very first time. Number 7, Layla by Derek and the Dominos, released in 1970. At number 7, a song born from heartbreak that still hits just as hard, Layla by Derek and the Dominos. There is a very specific, aching kind of heartache woven into this soaring melody. It was the kind of song that felt incredibly personal and private, yet everyone who heard it pouring out of their speakers understood the pain. Eric Clapton poured his entire soul into this track, writing it as a desperate, agonizing declaration of impossible love for the wife of his dear friend George Harrison. The great unexpected irony of this legendary track is that the famous guitar hook, as the very riff we all naturally associate with Clapton, was actually created and played by Duane Allman. Though the single did not shine on the charts immediately upon release, its re-release in 1972 brought it soaring into the top 10 in the United States, cementing its mythical legacy. Love stories change, marriages end, and the people involved eventually moved on. But that agonizingly beautiful crying guitar riff remains forever frozen in time, capturing a broken heart that never heals. Number 6, Enter Sandman by Metallica, released in 1991. A slow, creeping, and undeniable darkness. That is exactly what it felt like when the clean, menacing minor key notes of this track first began to play through car stereo speakers. It laid the entire foundation for their massive Black Album. Like shifting the band away from fast thrash and into a heavier, deeply atmospheric sound. Most fans naturally assume the aggressive frontman James Hetfield wrote it. But it was actually born almost accidentally from the mind of Kirk Hammett. He was simply playing a repetitive 5-note motif in his bedroom after listening to another band late at night, and the rest of the group layered it to make it sound gigantic. It became a colossal commercial success, a towering stadium anthem that defined the mainstream metal scene of the early 90s. The The tape cassettes eventually wore out, and the 1990s passed us by in a blur. Yet the song remains a powerful, lingering reminder of when heavy metal truly ruled the world. Number 5. I Cannot Get No Satisfaction by the Rolling Stones, released in 1965.
I can't get no satisfaction.
Holding down the number 5 spot, a gritty anthem that turned distortion into attitude, I Can't Get No Satisfaction by the Rolling Stones. It sounded like pure rebellion broadcasted directly over the static of a transistor radio. A simple, fuzzy, and almost threatening tone that instantly defined the restless spirit of the mid-60s. Mick Jagger and Keith Richards created a fierce, biting critique of commercial consumerism and frustration, perfectly capturing the energy of a youth culture ready to explode. The most fascinating part is that Keith Richards actually composed the legendary riff while half asleep in a dim hotel room, recorded it onto a small tape player, muttered the chorus, and went right back to snoring. He actually hated the fuzzy guitar tone, believing it sounded like a mistake, and desperately wanted a horn section to play the notes instead. Thank goodness the producer outvoted him, because it became a massive global hit that topped the charts and defined an entire era of rock and roll.
I can't get no satisfaction.
The wild, rebellious youth of the 1960s eventually grew up, and the world changed its colors. But that revolutionary, aggressive fuzz tone still feels completely unforgettable. Number 4. Iron Man by Black Sabbath, released in 1970. It felt like a heavy, slow marching metal giant approaching from the distance, shaking the ground with every step. Few tracks in music history ever captured a mood so dark, pessimistic, and cinematic. Tony Iommi channeled the gloomy, industrial atmosphere of his hometown. I'm telling the bizarre and terrifying science fiction story of a time-traveling metal man who is abandoned by the very people he tries to save. In a genre where most bands struggle to write even one good riff, Iommi packed 2 or 3 unforgettable, devastating ones into this single track alone. Released on their landmark second album, it became a career-defining anthem for the entire heavy metal genre, finding massive, enduring success across the globe. The paranoid doom of that specific era eventually passed into history, but the slow, heavy blues of that iconic guitar line still echoes in the mind like a heavy memory you cannot quite shake off. Number 3, Back in Black by AC/DC, released in 1980. The exact moment you hear that sharp snare drum followed by those 3 simple chords, as your heart naturally starts to beat a little faster. It was pure, unfiltered adrenaline delivered through sound waves. Following the tragic and sudden loss of their singer Bon Scott, the band desperately needed to create something that would sound like dark funeral bells, but ultimately celebrate the power of continuing to live. Despite being an absolute towering monument of hard rock, the riff is incredibly simple and accessible, directly born from a pure, unadulterated love for old-school Chuck Berry tunes. The album became one of the absolute best-selling records in human history, an unstoppable, thunderous force that dominated the entire decade of the 1980s. Decades have flown by, and the rock and roll scene looks completely different today than it did back then. Yet this 3-chord monster remains quietly waiting, like bringing together parents and children through a single timeless sound. Number 2, Whole Lotta Love by Led Zeppelin, released in 1969.
Way down inside.
was nothing less than a declaration of absolute terrifying power. When those wooden speakers vibrated with the opening of this track, it simply did not sound like anything else on earth. This was the exact, undeniable moment the band stopped being a promising newcomer and transformed into an unstoppable, heavy force of nature. Built on standard tuning, the sheer magic came completely from the aggressive right hand of Jimmy Page and an almost animalistic groove. It was deeply rooted in old blues music, but taken to an entirely different, dangerous level. The sheer sonic magnitude eclipsed everything else playing on the radio. Dominos becoming their biggest commercial success in the United States and essentially ushering in the era of modern hard rock. That raw, sensual, and dangerous energy of the late 1960s quietly disappeared into the history books. But nothing ever truly matched the sheer earth-shattering magnitude of hearing those opening notes drop for the first time.
In the middle of the night, I need you, darling. Make things alright.
Number 1. Smoke on the Water by Deep Purple, released in 1972.
We all came out to Montreal on a lake.
And finally, taking the top spot, a riff that became the very foundation of rock itself, Smoke on the Water by Deep Purple. There are songs you simply listen to, and then there are songs that become a permanent part of your musical memory forever. It is the very first melody that millions of people learned to play on a cheap acoustic guitar, serving as the ultimate gateway to the world of rock. The band was actually capturing a very real, very chaotic moment in time, documenting the story of a devastating fire burning down a casino during a concert in Switzerland. This monumental, heavy piece of music was unexpectedly inspired by a classic symphony from Beethoven, allowing the guitarist to create a line so perfectly clear that it can be played on a single string and still sound absolutely gigantic. Released as a single in 1973, it became an absolute, undeniable global anthem, completely taking over the decade. The smoke from that casino fire has long since cleared, and the golden, wild age of rock is far in the past. But this perfect, devastating sequence of notes continues to live on, acting as a permanent, unbreakable bridge right back to our youth. The concert lights have dimmed, the amplifiers have been unplugged, and some of the brilliant minds behind these guitars are no longer with us. But the sheer power of these riffs refuses to fade away. They remain suspended in time, patiently waiting for us to press play so they can pull us right back to our teenage bedrooms and late-night drives. We can never physically return to those decades, but as long as this music exists, our youth is never truly gone. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and comment the number 3 below. And if you love these musical journeys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you never miss a story. Thank you for watching and following along. I will see you in the next videos.